It was a cold, moonless night when Anna and her friends decided to test their courage. The old, abandoned cemetery at the edge of town was infamous for the chilling tales surrounding it. Locals spoke of ghostly figures and eerie whispers that grew louder every Friday night, the day it was said to have been cursed. "Let's see if the stories are true," David joked, his flashlight cutting through the dense fog. The group of 5 entered the cemetery through its rusted gates, the hinges creaking like a scream in the stillness. The air grew colder with each step as the friends ventured deeper into the graveyard. Anna felt the hairs on her neck stand on end, and she clutched her jacket tighter. "This isn't funny anymore," Lucy whispered, her voice trembling. They stopped in front of an ancient gravestone, its inscription barely legible. It read, "Here lies Thomas Grayson. Beware, for those who disturb his rest shall face eternal despair." Suddenly, the air grew thick, and a deep, guttural sound echoed through the cemetery. The flashlight flickered, and then the world went dark. "Who's there?" David called out, his voice cracking. A shadowy figure emerged from behind the gravestone. Its form was indistinct, but its glowing red eyes pierced through the darkness. The friends froze in terror as the figure raised a skeletal hand, pointing directly at them. "Leave now, or stay forever," a voice rasped, sounding as though it came from the depths of the earth. Panic set in, and the group scattered, running blindly through the maze of graves. But no matter how far they ran, they found themselves back at the same gravestone. The shadowy figure now stood taller, its sinister grin stretching wider. One by one, they began to vanish into the mist, their screams swallowed by the oppressive silence. Only Anna remained, trembling and clutching her cross necklace. She fell to her knees, muttering prayers, hoping for salvation. The figure leaned closer, its cold breath chilling her to the bone. "Your faith won't save you here," it hissed. The next morning, the townspeople found the cemetery eerily quiet. The gravestones bore new inscriptions, names of the 5 friends who had vanished that night. The Desolate Friday Cemetery claimed new victims, and the legend only grew stronger. No one dared to enter again, for they knew the curse was real, and the spirits were always. Anna's name etched into the gravestone was the talk of the town. But little did they know, she was not entirely gone. Trapped between the veil of the living and the dead, Anna wandered the cemetery, unseen by most, her voice lost to the living world. In her spectral form, Anna discovered a horrifying truth. The cemetery was not just cursed, it was a gateway, a portal tethered to something ancient and unspeakably, a force feeding on the fear and souls of those who dared to enter. Each grave was more than a resting place. They were markers, imprisoning spirits who had fallen victim to the curse. Anna encountered the souls of her friends, their forms shadowy and restless. David's voice echoed faintly, "Anna, find a way, break the cycle." But how? She was as trapped as they were, with no escape from the invisible chains binding her to the cemetery point. One night, a light pierced through the thick fog. A boy no older than 10 had entered the graveyard, clutching a lantern. He was looking for his lost dog. His innocence shielded him from the fear that the cemetery fed on. Anna felt a strange pull toward him, as if he were her only hope. "Leave!" She tried to scream, but the words only came as a faint whisper. The boy stopped and looked around, sensing her presence. He shivered but didn't run. "Is someone there?" he asked, his voice small yet brave. Anna realized she could guide him. With every ounce of her will, she nudged the lantern light toward an old mausoleum at the center of the cemetery. The boy hesitated, then followed the glowing beam. Inside, ancient symbols covered the walls, and a large iron-bound book rested on a stone pedestal. The book was the key. Anna could feel it, but as the boy approached, the ground trembled, and the shadowy figure that had cursed her and her friends emerged. Its red eyes burned brighter than ever. "You dare defy me?" it roared, the air crackling with energy. The boy froze, his lantern flickering. Anna summoned every fragment of her fading strength to protect him. Her ghostly form appeared briefly, shielding the boy. "Read the book," she urged. The boy's hands trembled as he opened the heavy tome. The words inside seemed alive, glowing faintly. He read aloud, his innocent voice breaking the oppressive darkness by the light of the pure, by the will of the free. I banish thee to where no shadow may flee. The figure howled, its form dissolving into black smoke that spiraled into the book. The air grew still, and the oppressive energy lifted. Anna felt the chains binding her spirit break. Her friends appeared beside her, their forms brighter and more solid than before. The boy watched in awe as Anna smiled at him, her voice now clear. "Thank you. You've set us free." With a final, grateful look, Anna and the others ascended into a warm, golden light. The boy left the cemetery, clutching the book, ensuring its curse would remain sealed forever. From that day on, the Desolate Friday Cemetery stood silent. The stories faded into legend, and no one ever vanished there again. But the boy knew the truth and kept the book hidden, for he understood the darkness could return if it ever fell into the wrong hands.